know.
Let's go. Oh man, right before you came in, I was like, I'm so tired, but I'm feeling jazzed.
Yeah.
Now that I get to talk about myself, all of a sudden I'm all perked up.
Yeah. It's also you're absorbing my nothing
Yeah,
perks you up like spending time with me.
exactly.
You
Because
have
you're my
two
best
do
friend.
you have two coffee cups? What is that? Are you pouring from a thermos into a
I'm
coffee cup?
pouring from my Yeti, which I
Into
think
a
is
cup.
like
Why
20
not just
ounces
drink
out of
directly
the Yeti.
eliminate the middleman and just
Because
drink out of the Yeti?
my Yeti doesn't have an Outrage Factory logo on it. Clink
Oh,
clink.
oh, oh,
Oh,
oh,
oh,
oh, fucked
Kevin
up.
McAllister's
You can only see
excited.
Kevin McAllister's stupid face. Hey, internet,
Yeah.
how you doing?
Hi, internet.
I took your line. Welcome to episode 226 of Factory, the
Mhm.
podcast where we look at the things that made people mad online this week and explain why they're dumb for caring. I'm your co-host Derek Boland, and I'm joined as always by noted homophobe Dale DeRuiter.
Transphobe, apparently.
Okay, well, they were popping for
Oh,
those
were
of
they
you.
saying homophobe?
Oh yeah, for those homophobe and piece of trash were were some of
Ah,
the more
piece of
colorful
trash.
ones.
I'll wear that. You know what the funny thing is? Just before all this happened, we'll get into it in a sec. I was like, because I used to have what people are calling social anxiety, where I'd be like, I feel like a lot of people hate me, and I don't know why, and I wonder if I should change. But now that I'm like 43, I'm
You
like,
just don't give a fuck.
I feel like people hate me, but it's probably their own fault.
That's
And it's
honestly
like,
like the best way to go about it.
yeah. And it's like I used to worry about people liking me. Now I'm like, I like myself. That's all that matters.
That honestly, like as I've gotten old, because I had my big flame out on Twitter a while ago, and
Bean Dad incident.
and it's funny, you and I both have had like far more offensive takes than what we were. Like, you're fucking offensive. You're like an avowed Joe Rogan stan. You fucking love
Mhm.
Elon Musk.
Well, I
You
don't love
fucking.
Elon Musk. Here's what I'll say. All of you, we're not going to talk about Elon
We're
Musk,
not
so I'm
gonna
just going
talk.
to say one sentence about my
Say it.
feelings on
I won't
Elon
even
Musk.
argue because I don't want to talk about Elon Musk.
He's a giant grifter who is taking money, tax money from the government any chance he gets, and he's accidentally making the world better in the process.
You got to
That's
respect
my
that.
feeling on Elon Musk.
You got to respect that.
Yes.
And that, so like, yeah, you've had some pretty, like, all throughout our entire lives, you've had very controversial. You like being controversial.
I don't like controversy. I just don't back down when I feel I'm right about
Yeah.
something.
That's
And I'm
why.
not afraid of offending people. Like,
That's-
this podcast started because you and me had the biggest fight of our lives on Twitter
Oh yeah,
over an opinion
about you saying that cops were objectively worth more
than other
than
people.
citizens.
Okay. This is the succinct take. When it comes to a society, different people based on their operation / jobs inside that society have different objective worth. And I came to the ruling that high level doctors are worth the most. And I was saying that police are worth more than some average Joe. And that was the one Derek got mad at. And then we like talked
Super
about
mad.
it for hours and
And
neither of us moved. And so it was just like every other Dale and Derek fight.
and then we kept doing that for 226
Yeah.
episodes, and here we are today.
And we keep bringing it up.
So yeah, when I was canceled over the fucking stupid Bean Dad thing, I was like, it took me a while. I was like, oh my God, like my Twitter people mean so much to me. And this like hit me so hard. And then it like time went by and I was just like, you know what? I got like my friends, I got my family, I got like my people, and fuck everyone else. And the thing I regret most is that I didn't fight more about Bean Dad. Like, I honestly, if I could go back, because I backed down a lot and I was like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm trying to learn about myself. And like, maybe I would have argued a little differently or not as aggressively, but like the people I was arguing with are fucking unhinged, and those are the same people that canceled you
Yeah,
today.
I was gonna say, funny coincidence. The
Funny.
degrees of separation on one of the people that we were arguing with is 0 because it was the same
It was
person.
all. It was the same. It was two of the people were the same. The very
Yeah,
same people.
I don't know if we want to name names, but they
No,
blocked
I
me,
won't.
so I feel like they did me a favor. But on the other hand, I was surprised that I was still being followed by these two people.
Yeah, true.
Like after they
Me as well.
canceled, after Bean Dad happened, it's no secret that you and me are very like. Even someone on Twitter was like, "You guys used to have the same views." I was like, "What are you talking about? Used to?"
I
And
don't
is
think
this
we've
an insult?
ever. You have awful views, and mine are
I have
great.
the
I
best views.
like a lot of the things we see
You
eye to
don't even
eye
like
on.
Joe Rogan. How right
But
could you be on
well, that's the
anything?
thing. I would say that like I'm a lot more left wing or left leaning than you are. You're more like
Mm,
in some ways. I don't know. Probably not others.
didn't you
Shut
announce
up.
you were libertarian like 2 years ago?
Yeah, but I'm like left leaning libertarian. And that'll lead into like our drag queen discussion. But like the people who cancel, it's like weird how the people who spend the most time on Twitter are also the people who will like fly into an outrage at the slightest provocation. And
Oh
Dale,
yeah.
where'd you go?
Oh fuck.
Where'd
Ah
you go?
shit.
Ah, fuck.
Sorry. I was
Anyways,
just trying to pull up a filter to make me look less pink, but I was trying to do it secretly
by hiding yourself, you definitely
by
made
fucking
yourself
fucking
less
up.
pink.
Where is
So
this?
do you want to get into why you were
Yeah,
Can
let's
I
talk
also
about
say
how Dale was kettle.
the initial comment you made?
Was hilarious and awesome.
Well, so you made a reference to the movie Cuties, and
Oh
I'm
no,
like,
that wasn't my original reference.
oh, what was your original one?
My original reference was the person in question with 0 degrees of separation between you and me said something to the effect of people shouldn't be upset about drag queen activities. They should instead be upset about, or you shouldn't be upset about drag queen activities. You should be upset about gun control in schools and stuff. And then I posted, what if I don't want my kid to be shot or taught how to twerk by a guy in a thong? Because I
I was
didn't know that it was about specifically drag queen story hour, because like me, I didn't read through the entire fucking thread. I just saw what they
classic
said.
Dale, letting your mouth get you into trouble when your eyes can't
Yeah.
catch up.
Because and then people are like, that's never happened in the history of life. And I was like, I didn't say this, but I was like, I'm pretty sure you, and that's the problem with these left. They keep saying stuff like that's never happened once ever in the history of time. And it's
I've
like,
seen
there's video on the internet. You're a
there
fucking
is
idiot.
video on the internet. Like,
Like
okay,
there is video of a drag queen tweaking right in front of little kids.
well,
Twerking.
so you did go on to say that like you're fine with drag queen story hour. Like that's not what the issue is here. The
No,
issue
my
is
issue is the sexualization. Like if they're just drag queens dressed up, but there has been instances of drag queens like, and I think what happened was drag queens were just like, we're gonna have story hour because I want to dress like a beautiful woman and read story and be a princess and read stories. That's fine. But then somewhere along the line, all the right-handed idiots got super offended. So naturally, people who I can relate to this, they just want to poke the bear. So they started twerking as a joke, and then it just blew up even
well,
further.
so like here's what happened, and this is totally like a byproduct of the culture war, and you have these extremists on both sides. Is like there's drag queen story hour,
Yeah.
which is fine. I think it's fucking cool that they do that. I love that they get to normalize just like, hey, you can be comfortable in your own skin. You can like play dress up. You can do whatever you want to do. This is an acceptable lifestyle. Like that is shit that kids need to learn. Absolutely.
Mhm.
And I think that's a great avenue for them to learn it. And then you had the extremists on the right who are like, oh fuck, they're fucking grooming children and they're trying to fuck children and all these fucking sick weirdos are doing this shit. And like that's bizarre. And then you have the extremist reaction on the left, which is like, fuck you, if you don't take your kid to like actual drag shows, like drag shows at adult only venues, you are a bigot and a homophobe, and we're gonna fucking round everyone up at gunpoint and make them watch drag shows because if you don't, you are intolerant and that's unacceptable. And it's like in the middle, which is the biggest area, I
Mhm.
would say, encompassing like 90% of people, the same percentage of people who didn't
You were
boo
right at
Elon,
first with 95.
who didn't boo Elon at the fucking whatever Dave
We're
Chappelle
not
show.
talking about
We're not
Elon,
talking
Derek.
about Elon. Are these people who are like you and me, and
Yeah.
their parents, and they ultimately, we all just want to like, for the most part, we all just want to like raise healthy kids and keep our kids safe and like make sure our kids grow up as decent human beings.
Yeah.
And
Oh, I have
what
two goals for being a parent.
go
One, my girl doesn't turn into a serial killer,
yeah,
and two, she doesn't get molested. Those are my only two goals.
I will say, if she did become a serial killer, the bar for female serial killer notoriety is
Mhm.
pretty low because there have been so few of them. So
Yeah,
even
like
if she does,
basically, there's Eileen Warren-Ross. Did we talk about this
Eileen
already? I feel like
Wuornos.
we did. We talked about this a couple episodes ago, didn't we?
We didn't talk about it on the podcast, I don't think. Didn't we talk about it out
Uh,
like in IRL? We talked
I
about it in
it's
real
all a
life.
blur. But yeah, like there's no like there's that one like Florence Nightingale woman who killed like 800 people in the 1800s,
Yeah, the
but
nurse
they
or
don't really
whatever, right?
know. That doesn't count. That's not a serial killer. That's just like anyway, sorry I interrupted you.
Oh yeah. So you have all these parents
Mhm.
who just want to like raise their kids, right? And they're all wrestling with like, because we are in a very like, it's a very interesting time to fucking be a parent because you have all these new like societal elements that
Mhm.
we've never had to really contend with before. Like back in the 70s, unless you were in Rocky Horror Picture Show, if you
Yeah.
were transgender, you probably like led a very closeted life and only did it in your own home or like around, like in your own bedroom, even like
Yeah.
hiding it from your own wife or kids a lot of the time, or husband
Yeah,
or
like you had
whoever.
a secret life.
Yeah. So like this is like totally uncharted shit for parents. So like I want
Mhm.
to raise my kids to be tolerant and accepting, but I also don't want to expose them to shit that is like not appropriate. Cuz like there are things that you just don't need to expose kids to yet.
Yeah.
And so like drag shows, or the drag story time, whatever. I'll take my kids to those and that's
Mhm.
fine. But like places with overtly sexual themes,
Yeah.
which some drag shows do,
Mhm.
is like I don't know that I would take my kid to one of those. And if I say I don't know that I would take my kid to one of those, I don't need a bunch of fucking childless idiots screaming at me from the rafters, being like, "You're a fucking bigot, you're a homophobe." I need, like, we all need to treat this with like the nuance that it deserves, because nobody has any fucking idea how to approach this shit. And we're all just kind of trying to figure it out as we go.
Yeah, like for me, like you said, I don't want like I'm not a parent yet, but I think we're like 6 months along. We're going to be
You're
doing March.
basically
So
you're a parent.
I'm just getting my dad rage riled up on and like kind of figuring out how I'm going to raise a girl, which is scary because basically if anybody touches my little girl, I'm going to jail cuz I'm
You're
going
gonna
to kill
fucking
them.
pop off. Yeah,
That's it.
absolutely.
But it's like on Twitter, this is after the initial thing. I said someone called me a transphobe, and I said, "Well, no, because it's not just drag queens. I would never take my daughter to a burlesque show. I wouldn't take her to exceptionally feisty belly dancing shows. I wouldn't go to the strippers. I wouldn't go anywhere where it's overtly sexual because mostly I don't want to have the conversation with like my daughter until she's hit puberty about what sex is or what she has to look out. Well, I guess you should guard them for like what to look out for and stuff. But then I also said I'm not a transphobe because drag queens aren't trans, because if they were, we would just call them women. And I feel like that was a nice cheap shot of overly left um
I
thinking.
mean, yeah,
One thing I have a problem with is like the problem with there's always a problem when you're arguing with either the like left idiots or the right idiots. The right idiots just go, they're destroying our society, they're coming for our kids, they're groomers, hell's on earth, it's happening. Whereas the left, they just go to extremes They're like one guy was like, it's like going to the zoo, and then if an ostrich pecks your kid, it's like saying that all the ostriches want to kill your kids. And I was like, well, no, what you're saying is like denying that an ostrich ever pecked a kid. And if you say they didn't, then you've never been to the zoo. But it's like everybody's the left is so infuriating because they're like, there's nothing happening at these drag shows and stuff. It's like, yeah, well, nothing used to be happening in the churches.
Even if there's always shit happening in the
Like
churches.
we used to be able to trust all the ministers in the Catholic Church. I'm
even
not going to let
if
my kid go hang out with a minister by herself.
even if there's nothing happening at drag shows, every fucking parent has the right to determine how fucking comfortable they are and what they want to expose their child to. It doesn't fucking matter if there's nothing happening. It doesn't matter if a parent is not comfortable with it. Fuck off. Your opinion is not the rule of law. And like there's a vast difference between like I'm not comfortable with this, so I'm not going to expose my child to it, and I'm not comfortable with this, so I'm going to show up at a drag queen story hour and fucking scream about how these people are groomers and like tote guns around. Like that shit is not okay. But that's like I took off my fucking I came out of retirement for Twitter arguing just to like wade into the fray and defend my friend Dale.
Nice. And thank you, by the way.
Well, fuck, like people are so fucking dumb. And like a lot of the argument was like this kind of rhetoric is getting people killed, and they were referencing that like gay club shooting that just happened, and I'm like, this rhetoric is not the rhetoric that's getting people killed. This rhetoric is what fucking 90% of parents in the Western world are grappling with right now. The rhetoric of like, is this okay? Where's the line? What do I want my child exposed to? That isn't getting anyone killed. The rhetoric that's getting people killed is the fucking like weird like these people are all groomers.
Extremism.
The extremism, whatever. But it's like there's not, and that's my like major problem with the left is that they cannot differentiate between like the nuanced, I don't know how comfortable I am with this, I don't know what I would expose my child to, and the like hardline fucking let's kill all drag queens and light them on fire in like public effigy in the streets. Like there is a fucking world of difference between those things and anything.
Yeah.
And you don't need to like, if someone buys a Tesla, they're not a fucking fascist who wants to fucking instill Elon Musk. Fuck. If someone buys a Kanye West, if someone buys a pair of Yeezys, they don't fucking love Kanye West and hate Jewish people. They just
actually now they just love Adidas because Adidas took the brand from Kanye. Anyway, sorry to interrupt.
But like I'm just saying like fucking like people need to like
people need to chill out. And it's like everybody treats it like you're fence sitting if you're not one extreme to the other, when the fence is actually a mile wide and it's just an open sunshiny meadow and you can be happy there. You don't have to be way to the left or way to the right. Like you can live in the middle without everything turning into a metaphor of like the left is like, oh, the right are going to kill people, and the right is like, they're going to kill our kids. And it's just everything just boils down to that. Yeah. I don't know. Like, and the weird thing is at both times, anytime anyone is extreme on the right or left, it's because their parents were toxic and the people are either fighting against their dad's toxic views or embracing them.
Yeah.
It's nobody's ever just like, oh, I feel like I on my own out of nowhere am going to be extremely toxic in my political views. They're always like, well, the person I respected did this, or the person I very much disrespected did the opposite.
Well, I think that's like, that's ultimately we become like a carbon copy of our parent, or we become like the mirror reflection, or like polar opposite in response to how we were raised. So it's just like I almost, and I've been on the fence for so long. I think I'm gonna do it. Like I'm just gonna fucking quit Twitter and like delete my account and delete everything, because I'm just like,
I mean, Twitter seems like, even though we're not talking about Elon Musk, like some of the stuff in the pipeline, like he said he's going to bring the Twitter or the character count up to 2,000, and Twitter's just going to be hell on earth if the character count is 2,000. Like if
Yeah,
everybody's making 2,000 letter posts, I'm out. That's just going to be like wandering into like Facebook,
yeah.
and nobody that wants that.
Nobody's on Facebook because of Twitter, but it's all maybe with like 2,000 words, we can just fucking we will actually be able to explain our
The
you know
problem is we don't it's not that we don't have enough character count to explain, it's that we don't have time. Like this whole thing happened when I was at work and I was just checking my phone every like 20 minutes to see what's up, and then all this shit happened and I was like, fuck. And then I can't argue with people. And then it's like an hour later and I see all these replies. I was like, man, I'm just not gonna reply because I fucking missed the window and now it's too late.
Well, and the funniest thing, I mean, don't fucking argue with the people because then they'll be like, oh, you argued with me. You're an extra big piece of shit. I'm gonna fucking cancel you twice as hard. Nobody
Yeah, that
argues with me.
That definitely happened. They're like, Dale's a piece of shit and a homophobe. And you know what? The weird thing is, I can't get canceled because I'm a fucking welder. And
Well, yeah.
if somebody called up my boss and they're like, Dale's a homophobe, like hate monger, bigot, they'd be like, oh, good. Maybe he'll stop scream fighting with the openly racist people he works with. And we won't have to listen to him
What?
anymore.
He's a homophobe. We're giving him a raise. Like,
Yeah, that'll be awesome. Now he doesn't have to explain to his fucking foreman why having Aunt Jemima on the label of syrup reminds people of when they were objects to be
yeah.
owned, which is a conversation I had to have. And that's the thing that pissed me off the most. The most is that these people who are trying to cancel me or whatever, they're not on the front lines of bigotry. They're not
No,
actually having arguments with actual racists and actual fucking boomers who don't get it.
no.
I'm in the fucking trenches. I'm out there shedding blood. I'm having scream fights with a guy who tells me that we shouldn't be talking about the fucking residential schools because it was so long ago that it doesn't matter, or that the skin I wear is white, so I should prove my allegiance by not arguing about that stuff. Like these are actual conversations I'm having with actual racists.
Jesus Christ. Well, it's doubly funny because I was like, you regularly, like you were perpetually bullied in high school
Yeah.
because you would do shit like wear dresses and paint your nails and wear eyeliner. And like, you were like the original transgender person
Yeah.
back before it was a thing, and people were like, people call you the F word all the time. They
Mhm.
would like, and I'm like, fucking Dale, like you did more to like open my mind to that shit than like anyone ever has. So I'm like, these people are fucking morons, and all they
Mhm.
do is they like go on Twitter and they clutch their pearls when someone has the gall to disagree with them
Yeah.
about something, and it's fucking stupid. Get offline,
Yeah, exactly. The funny
fuckers.
thing was my brother, he went to a wedding of a cousin out in Saskatchewan, and he said it was the first time that one of my uncles didn't ask if I was still gay.
Since the
Because
pregnancy announcement,
yeah,
it's
and I
like,
was like, "Oh, the pregnancy announcement might have helped." But 25 years ago, I visited them. I stayed with them, and then I went to a Marilyn Manson concert, and I wore nail polish and makeup. And ever since then, I've just been the gay cousin,
went to a Marilyn Manson concert, eh? That's
right? Yeah, that's problematic now for unsexual orientation reasons.
yeah.
Now it's problematic because of the fucking Me Too movement, and Marilyn Manson is actually a piece of shit with for and this it's almost funny because it's like the boomers were complaining about Marilyn Manson being a piece of shit, and then everybody had to defend him, and they're like, you just think he's a piece of shit because you think he's Satanist and he's not. And then he turns out to be a piece of shit for completely different reasons. And now the left is like, he's a piece of shit because he's beat to women and all that stuff. And
Yeah.
it's like the boomers are
Well,
just like,
yeah, validated because he
yeah.
was a notorious abuser of
They're
women.
like, it took 25 years, but we're right.
And maybe that's the circle of life. Maybe everyone who your parents think was shitty
God.
will actually, and it'll be the same for our kids.
That's how you know you're living in a simulation and it's simulated hell. Is 25 years later on the dot, everything your parents said to you turns out to be
Comes true.
true.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that
And then you're
would be
gonna
my hell.
like tomorrow we're gonna see a news article that Marilyn Manson did take his own ribs out so he could suck his own dick.
I will die believing that was true. 100%. Do you want to pivot? I was gonna fucking I'm like, oh, that's a good segue to this thing, but then I'm like, this is a focus on the family blog.
What is Strange World Stu gay?
The Strange World's too gay. This for focus on the family. No shit. They're gonna think it's too
That's
gay.
that's only one of the things that, but it's like no common nomenclature that Strange Worlds bombed because there was a gay couple in it. And it's
I
like
don't
it's
think that's
not
true.
like we don't know if that's true, but it is Disney, and Disney usually is gangbusters. In this movie, I just pulled up the box office mojo, and this movie's only made $30 million gross. I don't
Is
even know
that
what the
bad?
budget was for it.
That seems like a large sum of money.
30 million? Dude, it
30. If
costs
someone came up to you right now and they were like, "Hey, Dale, you want $30 million?" Would you be like, "That's
um
fucking chump change"?
yeah, wait, I'm googling the budget right
I don't
now.
need that.
Here, let me tell you how much. Okay, it grossed, not netted, grossed $30 million.
Okay.
It is set to be Disney's biggest animated bomb in 20 years.
Okay.
I don't know what bombed 20 years ago. And guess how much it was reportedly cost to make?
40 million dollars.
135.
Holy fuck!
So it's still, as we speak, $105 million in the hole.
This has nothing to do with a fucking gay character. Come on. Or gay
No, I
couple.
don't know. I'm thinking maybe it's too weird for people. Like it's really like I wanted to see it because it's like extra sci-fi-ish. And it's like, I think it's like Hollow Earth theory thing, where it's like, remember Journey to the Center of the Earth with Dwayne The Rock Johnson and the kid from Hunger Games?
Yeah.
It's got a real feel like that movie, and I don't think that movie did too well.
No, I mean they're not all gonna be fucking hits, right? Like what?
Yeah. And like, that whole go woke, go broke thing. Like, I'm not saying this movie's doing bad because there's a gay couple in it, but the fucking right-wing idiots that we were talking about before, they can't stop bringing that up.
Yeah. And they wouldn't. And like here's the way I think all movies are gonna go in the not so distant future. It's like you're either going to have a gay character
Mhm.
or a black character or a transgender character or a woman
Yeah.
character.
Woman.
And the right will accuse you, or I shouldn't say the right, because there are people on the right who are not like fully bought into that culture war fucking
Yeah.
bullshit, right? Like
Everybody knows you. Like, it's when you say the left, you're not talking about me and you who are politically left-leaning.
yeah,
We're talking about the extremes on either
the left.
side.
The people who I just like Googled this movie and I'm reading through the reviews,
Yeah.
and they're all 5-star or 1-star, and these are the people I'm talking about. The 5-stars are all like, this is the fucking best Disney movie ever made. It's so fucking inclusive. It made me want to fucking go out and fuck a man. And then the inverse is like, fuck, Disney is shitting on families and fucking coming in the face of God. And this movie is a fucking affront to humanity and should not be allowed to. And like, there are people on either side of the political spectrum who are taking the time out of their day to go write a fucking review about a movie they probably haven't seen just based on the fact that there is a gay character in it. It's fucking nut. This is gonna be the most boomer thing I've ever said, but like, what the fuck is going on with the world right now? Like, I just don't get it anymore, man. Why does everything have to be like this? Jesus Christ.
Do you want to, total aside, speaking of other kids' movies, do you want to hear my favorite little piece of knowledge from this year's domestic and box office?
Yes.
Uh, Minions: The Rise of Gru made 369,500,000.
You
The
came.
Batman with Robin Pattinson made 369,345,000.
Wait,
So
Minions
The
beat.
Rise of Gru made $150,000 more than The Batman.
Jesus fuck.
That movie
I
that everybody says was the best Batman since the last time the best Batman came out made less money than Minions.
I will say anecdotally, I did go and see Minions. You came and saw that with us,
Yeah, we
right?
saw it together
In
with
the
Noah.
theater. I did see
Yeah.
Minions in the theater. I did not see Batman in the theater.
Mm,
I'm
good
part of that
call.
$150,000. No, that
Me
good
too, buddy.
call.
Because I
That's
didn't
like,
see the Batman in theaters either. I watched
yeah,
it at home.
Yeah. The
And
things we do.
the best part about this is weird esoteric cartoons are failing. Dramas are failing. They're not making their money back. But one thing that I've always said I loved, superhero movies and dumb action movies are back on top. Top Gun Maverick, made $718 million, 576,000.
Holy shit.
Doctor Strange, which is arguably one of the lower Marvel movies, made 411 million.
Yeah, he's the least cool of the Marvel
Yeah.
superheroes, I feel. Oh, Jurassic World did pretty good.
Yeah, it made 376 million.
What
Whereas
else here?
the biggest surprising one for me, oh wait,
Top Gun, Doctor
did
Strange, Black
Spider-Man
Panther,
No Way Home just come out, or is that
Jurassic
last
World.
year?
No, that was last year. The one that's coming out. Did you see the trailer that just dropped for the next Into the Spider-Verse or Across the
Oh
Spider-Verse or
no,
whatever?
I
Oh,
didn't.
fuck, it looks dope.
Okay,
Anyway,
nice.
Sonic the
Oh,
Hedgehog 2 was the 10th highest grossing film domestically.
isn't that awesome? 190 million.
Higher than Elvis, higher than
Black Adam,
nope, higher than Black Adam, higher than what else is in
Uncharted.
here? Uncharted?
Dude, I haven't seen Sonic 2, but I actually really like Sonic 1. Have you watched it with Noah?
Yes, repeatedly.
Oh,
I
I was
have an
gonna say.
8-year-old. Of course I've watched it.
I
Dale.
said I bet he liked it, and he definitely did, didn't he?
He did, yeah. He loved it.
Dude, I think in 2 years, Noah's fanage of movies and my interest in movies are gonna be directly on level.
Yep.
Because I love fucking cheesy sci-fi.
That's also like the best part of like having a fucking kid is that you get to like you're like, oh, that kid's movie looks kind of dope, but I can't go see it as a grown up or a bunch of weird right wingers outside the movie theater will call me a groomer. So I'm gonna go see it with my child and use that as a pretense to watch it.
No shame in that. I hope my girl likes superhero movies because she's gonna see them all. Because that's actually one of the only movies that me and Andrea like too. Is she loves fucking Marvel movies.
Yeah, which was the most surprising thing to learn about Andrea because she does not seem like a Marvel person.
Yeah, and the funny thing is, it's because there's no blood in them, and there's a love story, and there's like enough action for me. She also really loved Aquaman because that fucking dude is such a rocket, and I can't even blame her.
Yeah, you can't. I'm horny for that dude.
Dude, the only thing I'm pissed off about is that Aquaman 2 isn't gonna have Amber Heard in it because when she was drooling over Jason Momoa, I was drooling over Amber Heard.
Did she get canceled because of the whole Johnny Depp thing?
I could have sworn she got shit canned right out of there.
Amber Heard Aquaman 2 replaced. Oh wait, 3 days ago.
Really, 3 days ago? This is fucking coincidentally timely.
Breaking news! It looks like Amber Heard's Mira.
Yeah, Mira.
Isn't done with the DCU yet and will still be showing up in Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. Heard's name has been all over the news, blah, blah, blah. This led to several rumors that Warner Brothers had chosen to completely nix Heard's role despite her having already filmed content. Oh, wait. So it might not be. So she's not cut,
Oh, they're probably just gonna cut her part back.
but Walsh confirmed that Mira's role in the sequel, which is rumored to embody about 20 minutes of screen time, hasn't been reduced or shortened at all.
Oh.
They're not cutting her. She
They're
remains
like,
throughout the film.
she's too hot, we don't care. We're gonna blame James Gunn.
I mean, yeah, it's his fault. Hey, nice segue. Do you want to jump into that?
Yeah, let's talk about that. Even though I was gonna research more about James Gunn's role at DC Universe. What's DC's called? Because it's
He's the
Marvel
head.
Cinematic Universe. What's
DCU.
DC's?
Just the
Oh,
isn't it the D? Wait, it can't be the DCCU, the DC Cinematic Universe. The
yeah,
DC.
CU.
Um,
Oh
I
wait,
fucking
DC Studios. Studios. DC Studios.
I
Yeah.
love that because like James Gunn is fucking dope as hell,
Yeah, man, I am
and
fucking all on board.
everything he's done has been fucking awesome. Did you ever watch
Slither? I watched that with you.
No, Slither was dope. Fucking the one about the kid like Superman who like murders people and shit.
Oh, Brightburn?
Brightburn,
I did
also
not.
fucking dope.
Was
Oh,
that one
dude,
of his?
so good. Yeah.
I
James
don't know.
Gunn.
I was like, I don't know if I want to handle like a kid killing people. It
Yeah.
seems like groomer material.
What? No, it's the opposite of groomer. If you watch that, you're staunchly anti-groomer because you're like, fuck yeah, kids should be allowed to kill.
Yeah.
Well, this kid doesn't just kill people who wrong him; he kills everyone because he's a villain. Spoiler
Spoil
alert.
it for me. Do they kill him in the end, or do they just like, does he turn good?
Watch it. No.
Why is he? I'm not gonna watch it. Just tell
watch
me.
it.
No.
They don't kill him. He escapes. He kills like his whole family, and then gets away.
Why does he kill his family? Just like,
and that because he finds out that he's like, because it's like the Superman origin story where it's like a spaceship crashes and this like infertile couple finds him and they're so stoked and they get to raise him as their own, and then he ends up like murdering a bunch of people, but then he also murders him, and then like the end credits of the movie are set over this like montage of news clips saying this fucking like kid superhero has gone fucking crazy and is like murdering people all over the globe and shit. It's fucking it's so good. I gotta
sounds
watch
terrible. So just at the end, he's just killing people, and they're like, "That's the end of the story."
Yeah, it's
bad ending.
No, that's an awesome ending.
I hate bad endings.
So James Gunn is dope, and then I also love that like Mike Cernovich and all those fucking right-wing idiots who successfully got James Gunn fired.
Yeah.
For what, one movie? Was it even for a whole movie, or was he
No, because he came back for
it, right?
Yeah, because that was Guardians of the Galaxy 2, right?
So he was fired from whatever Guardians of the Galaxy 2 for making distasteful Twitter jokes.
It was the third Guardians movie.
Okay.
That
but
he got
came
removed
back for, right?
In 2018, he was removed after decade-old controversial and offensive tweets came up.
Yeah.
And then he was returned.
And then he was returned, and now he's like heading up a major film studio that makes tons of fucking money. So let this be. I want the lesson here to be to corporations that if a bunch of fucking dumb idiots launch a campaign to get someone fired based on shit they tweeted a decade ago that was clearly in jest, tell them to fuck off. We don't have to keep bending over backwards to appease the worst people on Twitter.
Dude, the funniest thing about this whole thing was in 2018, Mike Cernovich got James Gunn canceled because he had decade-old tweets that were trivializing rape and violence. Wait, what were they? Oh, trivializing rape and pedophilia, and they resurfaced online. Now, fast forward to 2022, the right wing is not going to cancel him for that, and it'll be the left wing that would cancel him.
That cancels it for it, yeah.
But and it's funny because it's like now that James Gunn, it's like that Double Jeopardy movie with that hot Judd girl. It's you can't get convicted for murder twice, now that he's been canceled by the right, the left can't cancel him for the same thing, because then they would just be admitting that they're just as bad as the right wing people for canceling him for these decade old tweets. So now he just gets to like skate through. He's like had his record expunged, which I'm not a fan of these tweets. I can't remember what they were because they're a decade old and I read them 4 years ago when this all happened, which I can't believe that was 4 years ago. But like, could you imagine a world without fucking the Peacemaker show? And I haven't
No.
watched the third Guardians of the Galaxy movie, but I'm sure it's going to be just as good as the first two.
Yeah, they've all been good. Peacemaker was like probably we should do another like pop culture roundtable where we just like rank our favorite shit from the past
Oh
year.
yeah, dude.
Because like I would probably put Peacemaker is an easy top 3 and possible top 1 for me.
Yeah.
Like I just fucking was that this year that Peacemaker came out?
Yeah,
It was, right?
Yeah, it's got to be right up there for like superhero shows like that. The only thing I can think of that I like more as a superhero show is probably The Boys.
Yeah. I don't even think like I fucking love The Boys, and Peacemaker was better than The Boys for me, I think.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Mostly because John Cena is so fucking lovable
He's
as
amazing,
compared
man.
to the people in The Boys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking what's his Randy Quaid's fucking son or
Is that who that was?
yeah, Huey, the like main dude is like
Oh, now
fucking
that you
Randy Quaid's
mention it,
son.
he's totally Randy Quaid's
Yeah,
son.
he looks fucking like a little baby
Oh my
Quaid.
god, that's true. Oh, and the fucking Invincible was this year, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, fuck, that was good too. Damn.
Yeah, dude.
When are they dropping a second? Oh wait, I actually think Invincible was last year because I think I remember watching it when I was fucked up with my spinal injury.
Oh, yeah.
I think. Invincible show. And Vince, did you see we're just gonna talk about pop culture for the rest of this
Yeah,
fucking
dude. That's
episode
all
now.
people care about.
Yeah,
They're not here
really.
to fucking learn. I was just trying to find before we move on from this James Gunn thing. I'm just looking up. So he's not the chair of DC Studios. He's co-chair and co-CEO of DC Studios. Alongside producer and longtime Warner Brothers contributor Peter Safran. I
Don't know who
don't
that is.
know who that is. You know what? You tell me what you are gonna actually don't, because I don't want to move on. I'm just gonna quickly IMDb Peter Safran so we could see which Warner Brothers properties he's responsible for. And let's see. Producer. Oh, he produced Suicide Squad.
Ah.
That's
Ah.
nice. Ah, he doesn't even have a picture.
Ah. I mean, that's
Um,
what I really wanted to know is what he fucking looks like.
Yeah, that's all that counts. Oh, Flatliners, the remake in 2017. Hey, did you see that? I
I
didn't
did
watch
not
that.
see that.
Oh, he was a
Flatliners
producer on Aquaman. Dope.
remake. There you go.
Oh, he was a executive producer of Peacemaker, Suicide Squad, Conjuring, Valley of the Gods. Yeah, but do we count producer? Because that just means gave them money. Okay, okay. I think he's only done producing, so I'm just gonna go quickly try to run through. Oh, he produced Shazam, Aquaman, Annabelle Comes Home, Suicide Squad, The Nun. Oh, he did
Which one
those
was the
Annabelle
nun?
movies. I think that was a character from the Annabelle movies. It was like a spin-off. I'm not sure. I'm not a huge horror guy. And if there's any horror fans out there that are listening to this, I'm sorry. Oh, he did The Conjuring 2, produced still, sorry. Summer Camp, I already said that. Annabelle, Best Night Ever. I think that was a good movie. I think that was a comedy.
What was that? Best night ever. 2013?
Yes.
4 young women have a series of wild and raucous adventures during a bachelorette party. So this is basically like The Hangover, but
Yeah.
for women.
Yeah.
Got it.
All right. And then it's all a bunch of like little TV I've never heard of before that. Yeah, I'm down with that. Like the guy who produced Suicide Squad, Shazam, Aquaman, a bunch of cheesy horror movies I didn't watch, and James Gunn making DC movies. I'm fucking pumped.
I'm down. I hope they just like make everything like give everything that James Gunn vibe, right?
Yeah.
That's
Like they just give it the humor slash violence slash action. I'm down. It'll be
wait.
like, what?
I was gonna be like, what the fuck were we talking about? That's
That you wanted to move on from James Gunn? I can't remember.
no, it was Invincible season 2. There are no updates.
Oh, sucks.
Uh,
Yeah.
they
Oh,
like they're making it. It's just a question of when.
one of the things that happened under the new DC studios taking a different turn is we already talked about the Batwoman movie getting shit canned. It was like fully complete, and they're just like, yeah, we're not doing that. It was like 100 million or something. Wonder Woman 3 has been canceled. Well, they didn't cancel Wonder Woman 3, but they're not going with the director writer anymore. So that would be dope if that was like the first movie that James Gunn is like got his like art director fingers slash producer fingers in, would be Wonder Woman.
Right.
Well, I think that would, I'm not saying like that's the one I want the most. I'm just thinking that's the most likely because that's the next on the schedule. Unless they start going for, did you see Black Adam?
No.
Oh, neither did I. We should have because that looked good. Because they introduced like Doctor Fate, like Pierce Brosnan's Doctor Fate and that, and then they have Hawkman. So I imagine with this new DC Studios, they're probably going to expand that universe and like get like a Hawkman movie, maybe a Doctor Fate movie, more Shazam movies.
I don't know who any of these characters are.
You watch Shazam?
All right, I did.
Yeah, that because Black Adam is in the
Set.
is like the guy who was Shazam before Shazam was, but then he went bad.
It was
If that makes sense.
set entirely in Philly.
Hmm. Yeah. What was that thing you wanted to bring up that I cut you off?
I don't know.
Don't know at all.
No, it was something like pop culture,
Yeah, that's why I want to know what it was.
but I don't.
Pop culture.
Pop culture.
How do you like? I was talking to you about going to Black Adam, and the reason I didn't was because it's like now I think about going to movie theaters. I'm just like, yeah,
What?
like I
You
don't
just
know.
what COVID like permanently ruined movie
Yeah,
theaters for
COVID.
you or what?
Not even movie theaters. Like going to live shows, going to movie theaters, going to events. I'm just like, seems like a lot of effort.
Oh, did
Like
you
I
see?
just aged 20 years over COVID.
This is probably something that we could talk about off of the podcast, but the Mad Caddies are
Oh
coming to
shit.
Vancouver. If speaking of like going to shows and not being a fucking
Oh.
old ass hermit who just fucking wastes away in your own home.
Oh, but I like
Uh,
wasting away in my own home.
yeah, but you also like ska
Nobody
music,
bumps
Dale.
into me
You
here.
also like ska music.
That's true. The best thing about Mad Caddies is they were like my fucking favorite band for 6 months in like 2003, and I'll be like, "Oh fuck yeah, let's go see Mad Caddies." Meanwhile, there's like 12 albums probably that have come out since
That you have
then.
like no idea what's
And I'll be like, "I love Mad Caddies," and then people will be like, "There's literally 150 songs you've
like
never
as
heard."
long as they fucking play Monkeys, that's
Oh
all you
yeah.
need. That one song.
I do love that song.
Okay. Hey, should we wrap it up? Cause I got a baby I gotta
Been a
take care of.
tight hour.
Tight hour.
Yeah,
And
Andrea's a huge fan of the tight hour that
Dale's
rap we're taking.
I bet she is.
Yeah.
Dale's gotta go commit some hate crimes against against homosexuals and
Yeah,
transgendered people.
go
So we
fucking
gotta
get more people mad at me on the internet. I think I don't know, like it was funny because they instantly blocked me. I was like, "Oh, that's actually kind of refreshing."
No, it's awesome. Like I wish more people like fucking like argued that way because it's just
Mhm.
like you're like, okay, this discussion is over. I don't have to say anything else to you. You don't have to say anything else to me. We're just never going to interact for the rest of our lives, and everyone's
Yeah.
happier because of it.
Yeah, it's just like I will literally never see you if I don't see you on Twitter for most of
Yeah,
these people. Because they're remnants of like 10 years ago when I used to go out to like bars and stuff.
yeah,
And it's like, guys, the silent treatment doesn't work on social media. We just forget and move
that
on.
people, yeah, like that's and like honestly, that is the one benefit of like transactional social media friendships is like, well, if they disappear, are you losing anything? Are you not going to have your best man at your wedding anymore because somebody fucking blocked you at Twitter? Are you
Could
not
you
going to
imagine?
fucking well, that when that one shithead fucking I did lose a podcast as a result of that, but
Yeah.
but you'll
The
never block
far
me.
inferior. Yeah, no. If I was gonna block you at our 25-year friendship, it would have been before this year.
Yeah, for anything. Although, given the way these bad, it'll be for like the most innocuous thing. I'll just be
Yeah.
like, I don't like cows, and you'll be like, fuck you.
I'll
I
be
grew
like,
up on a dairy
what?
farm.
And like the only reason it won't be like I blocked you and I actively like removed you from my life. It would just be like, I don't know. I just kind of feel like not doing anything. And then it'll just turn into like 2 months later. I'll be like, oh, I
I'm
haven't done
not gonna.
anything in 2 months.
I'm not gonna
Shit.
go to I'm not gonna go to Mad
The
Caddies
fuck,
with you.
Derek and fuck Mad Caddies. Oh, one thing we should talk about because it's timely and we don't even really have to get that deep into it
Let's
was
do it.
the biggest trade in WNBA history. Brittany Griner
Oh,
for
for
the Merchant of Death.
here's like,
Yeah?
I got opinions.
Do you? Can I give you my succinct, quick opinion before
Yeah,
we get on Derek's soapbox? I just want to say I got to give it to the Democrats. They are warmongering at such a more efficient rate than the fucking Republicans ever did. The
it's true.
Republicans are like, we got to start all these wars and we got to send our boys over there to fuck them up. Whereas the Democrats are like, we're going to take taxpayer money. We're going to pay homegrown weapons manufacturers to make weapons. And then we're going to send those weapons overseas and let someone else fight our
You
war
don't
for
actually have to
us.
fight at all.
Yeah, it's like it's amazing because they're still taking all the taxpayer money. They're still giving it to their weapons manufacturing friends, but they're not losing sleep because nobody's sons are dying. It's just other people's sons from a different country that are fighting the proxy war for them. And it's like, oh, the wars in Ukraine's kind of slowing down. Winter's coming. Nobody wants to fight. Oh, we should start talks soon. I know. Let's send the Merchant of Death back to Russia. Maybe that'll fucking kick the hornet's nest a bit.
Well, that's
And
like,
yeah, sorry, go.
no, go
I was
finish.
gonna say, and the people will fucking love us because we got a WNBA
A
player back.
WNBA star. Like, there were so many people who were so fucking mad about that were like, oh, like, there were like two schools of thought. They were like, oh, we're just gonna fucking send this like Russian arms dealer back into the wild so that they could like profit off of people dying. And the second was like, oh, there's a Marine being held in Russian prison and we couldn't have traded the Merchant of Death for them instead. And um no, on the first point, there are fucking thousands and thousands of executives of Boeing and Lockheed Martin and fucking what's the other one? Raytheon
Yeah.
and that like just live in the United States. And every single one of those people is a fucking arms dealer. They
Mm.
sell weapons. They are war profiteers. Whenever there is conflict, they make money off of it. People die using the implements they have created, and
Yes.
no one gives a fuck. These people
Mhm.
aren't war criminals in anyone's eyes. They're just fucking corporate men, right?
Yeah.
But like they're fucking it's the exact same fucking thing. But this one guy from Russia fucking subverts the system and profits off of selling weapons on his own, and that's a fucking outrage. Like what the fuck? And then the second thing is like, I don't know about the Marine thing. Like, can we
Yeah.
just be happy that an American citizen is coming home without fucking
Yeah.
getting all heated about it?
And I know there's another thing where people were like, another angle of people being upset was there's a fuck ton of people in US jail for fucking drug crimes that aren't really
Shitty
that
drug
bad.
crimes. Yeah.
They shouldn't still be there.
That's
And
actually
then,
a great call, Dale.
yeah. And
Oh,
another thing is Brittany Grinder, I heard, took hash to fucking Russia,
yeah.
which for people who aren't that big into drugs, hash is like the equivalent of crack to cocaine. So hash from marijuana is like, I don't know, a step up for worseness. Like people fucking hate hash, especially like the people who make rules and laws and stuff. So it was like, I think one of the things was a lot of people had been smuggling dope into Russia, and Russia had been like turning their back because they just love fucking basketball players and they wanted to like pay them to watch. But the fact that it was hashed, they're like, all right, we kind of gotta do something here. Our hands are tied.
Our hands are tied.
Our hands are tied.
Don't take drugs to foreign countries.
Yeah,
It's
no.
like just good in any form. Just
Don't
not
even
really
buy
worth it.
drugs there.
Don't buy drugs there.
You know what? I'm gonna sound like a boomer. Me and Derek are both Derek sober. I'm pretty sober.
Don't do
Just don't do
drugs.
drugs in other
Don't do
countries.
drugs. Oh,
Watch that
yeah, in
fucking
other
movie
countries.
with Claire Danes. The one where they're in Thailand and they get put in jail forever.
Oh yeah. What was that movie?
I don't know. Or that
Thai
one with Vince
drug
Vaughn where his
movie.
fucking friend
Claire
gets hanged.
Danes.
What was that one?
Broke Down Palace is the first one.
Yeah, that's
Vince Vaughn
was
drug
it Vince Vaughn?
movie.
And his friend like gets hanged because they were selling, I think it was hash in Thailand. Were they both based in Thailand?
Return to Paradise, Malaysia.
Yeah. Oh.
And Hesh. Rest in peace.
Oh yeah. That was wild.
Right?
Right. Remember that? Like everybody was like, this is like the craziest thing ever. It's like this big conspiracy. And then people are like, nah. We can't be arsed for every person who dies in mysterious consequences or
Right?
circumstances.
There's too many. Although I also fucking hate the there was that guy, the soccer journalist who
Oh, was that the same guy we were talking about with
the
the
rainbow
pride?
shirt guy. Yeah.
Was that the same guy?
We killed him with our hurtful words. We
Yeah,
killed
me
him
and
with
you
our
did.
criticism.
Well, actually, he was also criticizing the Qatar government on their treatment of workers as well as the gay stuff.
Yeah, but I still don't think like
And there was like an outbreak of like COVID there or whatever. And like his brother went on like a news show saying that he believes his brother was murdered by Qatarians or whatever. But
yeah, because that's way more interesting than he died of heart failure. Like
yeah,
just being he like went too fucking hard. He was like middle aged. This shit happens all the time, and everyone's just like, it's a conspiracy. The Qatari government had him murdered. And like, yeah, dude, the Qatari government is going to go out of its way to kill a prominent journalist during the biggest world event it's ever held.
yeah,
Like
and
that's what happened.
after they detained him, and it would be super fucking obvious if they did kill him.
Like it's so fucking dumb.
Or it could be like the Khashoggi thing where they like actually killed him and then they're just like, did you fucking kill that guy? Everybody knows we killed that. What the fuck are we gonna do? And then it just turns into like a big fucking ordeal.
I could like, yeah, if it was just like some fucking idiot, like low level fucking moron that accidentally killed him.
Yeah.
When they were just supposed to like scare him a little bit. But what, he died like at a soccer game, didn't he?
Yeah, he was like sick for a couple days and then a whole bunch of other people got sick too.
Yeah.
And yeah, it sucks that we're making jokes of it, but I could definitely imagine some guy being like, yeah, we don't have to worry about him no more. I don't know what accent that
What
was.
accent?
I was
that
gonna go
supposed to
for
be in
Russian.
Qatar?
I was gonna say I was like, I'm not doing Qatari because that would just look
that would
racist.
you can't.
And then
do
I was
that.
like, maybe I should do Russian. I was like, is that also racist to do a Russian accent? Oh wait, we hate Russians right now because of the war. Be like, we don't have to worry about journalists no more. I took care of it. And they're like, Yuri, what?
Why are you still
Yuri,
doing
you
a
fuck?
Russian?
No, because I decided to do Russian because it's not racist because we're fighting a proxy war against them and we hate them. We hate Russians right now. So I can do my bad Russian accent. That's what you get. You want to fight a proxy war with Russia? Then I got to make the accent. Yeah.
Okay.
Do you think we just lost all of our Russian fans?
Yeah, I don't think we have. I think we probably all the Russian fans we gained when they were like, "Oh, this guy homophobe, just like us," and now they're already gone. That's it.
Yeah, it was like the opposite of shadow banning in Russia. Somebody called me a homophobe, and it was like, bloop.
Yeah,
I
you get
rise
auto
to the top of the
promoted
queue.
everywhere,
Yeah.
everywhere.
I get Twitter blue in Russia just because I said hateful stuff.
Like, wait long enough, and that might get you Twitter blue here as well. All right.
Yeah.
Hey everyone, thanks for joining us for this wild ride through our minds or whatever. We sincerely appreciate you taking the time to listen. I've been your co-host, Derek Boland. You can follow me on Twitter, at least until I delete it, at Herder.
You can follow me on Twitter at SuperDalebot. I'll probably never delete it because
You like pissing people off.
it seems like a big commitment to delete something.
And that's also where we farm like 90% of the material
Yeah.
for this podcast. You can follow us on Twitter at Outrage Factory. It's actually
Outragefactorypod.
at Outragefactorypod. Do you still tweet from that ever?
I tweet our episodes when I put them up.
Oh, nice.
And then
Nice, bro.
And then usually I'm like, hey, we're gonna go live, come watch. But I totally forgot. I mean, I could tweet more. Here, I'll tweet right now. I'm not gonna tweet right now.
Don't tweet right.
I was gonna just tweet right now. How about story hour, eh? Just fucking get everybody to shit can the fucking podcast account. Although anybody who has a problem with your being dad take or my fucking drag queen take should definitely have a problem with this podcast in general, because it's just an hour and a bit of our takes.
Yeah,
every week.
It's an hour and a bit of us having nuanced takes and not just saying the most fucking hardline idiot shit that comes out of our mouths and being like, everyone who disagrees with me is the worst person who ever lived. I'm so mad.
Sorry. What? I just saw the funniest thing. We completely missed. Jordan Peterson tweeted.
Oh, I saw that.
Beautiful, and no amount of authoritarian compassion is going to change that. And
about
it's a drag queen in a church. And we just fucking went over our heads.
We'll do it. We'll do it on the next one.
Which, funnily enough, remember when that podcast episode we talked about how Jordan Peterson hated the fat chick wearing the bikini?
Yeah, that was the exact same.
That's our most downloaded episode.
Is it?
Yeah.
It was probably.
We should talk about Jordan Peterson hating people more.
It was just Jordan Peterson listening to it 100 times while
that would be
jerking off.
J-Po, if you're listening to this right now,
I don't like you. I don't like you much.
Come a guest on the podcast. I would love to talk to you.
I mean,
Derek doesn't want to talk to you,
but not respectfully. That's for sure. I could talk to him about how he overcame his addiction or whatever.
Yeah, you could.
You know, we share that.
And we could talk to him about what his bowel movements are now that he only eats meat.
Yeah. Oh.
Is it easier to poop or harder? I don't understand.
I'm just imagining Jordan Peterson shitting, and now I immediately regret that. So now you have to imagine it too. Hey, if you like the podcast, please rate, review, and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. And until next week,
stay angry.
Jordan Peterson shitting.